Hey there, my friend. Welcome to today's video. My name is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi. I'm the founder here at the Fit Father Project and the Fit Mother Project. And today's video is all about sleep and how sleep impacts your muscle gains. And if you're a person out there who wants to improve your fitness, build some muscle, even lose some fat, then understanding this graph is absolutely essential. Most people don't understand that sleep is a series of cycles that your brain actually goes through. And this is a hypnogram, and I'm going to show you what this means in just a second and why certain hormones are actually correlated with different of these phases, and that directly impacts your fitness results. So I know you're going to learn a ton in today's video. I'm also going to give you some recommendations on how to actually improve your sleep, the optimal number of hours of sleep for muscle gains, and you're going to learn a ton. So get out your pen and paper, take some notes, and let's dive on in.
FitFatherProject.com.
All right, so let's get into today's video on how sleep impacts muscle building and strength gains. And this topic is really important to me because one of my personal friends, John Golden, actually asked me to shoot this video. His company Mirror Mobile is designing our Fit Father Project app, and they're working long, late nights. And John was wondering, so how little sleep do I need to still make progress in the gym? And what's the correlation there? So I shot this video in inspiration from you, John. Thank you. And I know there's so many of us who are also wondering the same thing. So first off, I want to very quickly look at what sleep is. A lot of people just think sleep is this simple thing where you close your eyes. It's actually a very complex thing where your brain is going through different cycles into different phases, and that correlates with sleep, whether we dream or whether we don't dream. So basically a sleep cycle looks something like this. It kind of looks like a chimney right here. And when we're looking at these sleep studies, this is something called a hypnogram that basically charts out these sleep cycles, which are these Lego block looking things, over the course of the night. This is when we start sleeping, this is when we wake up, this is time on the x-axis, and on the y-axis is the different cycles that our brain can go through. The top one is REM, rapid eye movement. This is when we're dreaming. A lot of us have heard of REM sleep, and we know it's important for memory consolidation and things like this. And you can also see from this graph that REM sleep increases as the night goes on. This is why when we wake up, sometimes we can remember really vivid dreams, because oftentimes we're getting the most REM sleep right before we wake up. And this is important, but as it relates to muscle building results, I actually want to orient you to the bottom here, this thing that says N3. This stands for deep sleep. And these are these low bars through here. Deep sleep is the key to muscle building results and why sleep is essential for muscle building. Because during deep sleep, what happens is your body actually releases human growth hormone, sends more blood and oxygen to your muscles, to your tendons, your ligaments, and starts repairing things. So this is a state where your consciousness is completely different. You feel like you're conscious when you're in REM sleep because you're dreaming and you have a sense of self, but in deep sleep you are out. The brain is pretty much shut off. It's in a very low, slow brainwave state, and your body's really focused on physical recovery. This is why getting uninterrupted quality sleep is essential for muscle building results. Because if we miss the deep sleep, or if we keep on going through sleep where we're being interrupted, or waking up to pee, the kids are waking us up, or whatever reason your sleep is not quality, you're not getting enough deep sleep. And you don't get enough deep sleep, that's when you're not recovering. And I actually think that the amount of deep sleep you get per night is probably more important than the total hours you sleep per night. And this is why some people feel like they can function off, let's say 6 hours of sleep, and they're getting enough deep sleep so they feel great. Whereas other people might sleep for 7 or 8 hours and wake up and they don't feel refreshed physically or mentally. It could be because there's breaks in these sleep cycles. So the first piece of advice I have for you is we need to do some sleep hygiene. I want you to think about all the things that you feel like are impacting your sleep negatively. And I'm going to guess they're going to fall in these categories. 1, too much light. We've shown from some of the studies that even a little bit of light in your room, like the flicker of a phone, a little red thing on the TV, can actually impact your sleep quality. So if you need to wear a face mask, get some blackout curtains, do that stuff. Number 2, temperature. If you sleep in a hot room, it negatively impacts your sleep. Our bodies naturally have this circadian rhythm where we cool down more at night, and this helps keep us in this deep sleep state when we get into these cycles. So if your room's too hot, you've experienced in the summer before, you're restless and you're not sleeping well. 3, noise. Maybe get some earplugs, maybe soundproof your room a little bit more. And 4, fluids. Make sure you're not drinking a ton before you go to bed, or even just drinking alcohol, which is a diuretic that wakes a lot of people up and impacts REM sleep. Uh-oh, what a board malfunction. We will carry on. All right, we fixed the board malfunction. So where we're leaving off is the 4th factor that impacts sleep is hydration. So I want to make sure that if you are drinking something, it's just a small cup of some kind of sleepy tea before you go to bed, which might have some lavender or chamomile, but just don't drink a ton of water. It's not rocket science, right? And this is why sleep is essential. We get that human growth hormone release and the increased blood flow during the times when we're in deep sleep. The REM sleep is very good for memory consolidation and learning. And look, in the process of building muscle, you're also learning new exercises. Something like the squat or the bench press or the deadlift deadlift, doing it properly requires a lot of neural coordination. So actually, this is one thing that a lot of people don't talk about. Yes, we can talk about the hormones of sleep, but the learning and memory consolidation is also completely vital to your muscle building process, because if you get better at the deadlift and your form gets better and your ability to activate gets better because you actually have more memory of that motion and you're consolidating that memory before sleep, you're probably going to get better results over the long term. And this is one reason that they show with a lot of athletic studies where athletes perform some kind of motor task and then they either nap or sleep right afterwards, they get better learning and better memory consolidation. So sleep after your training, obviously very important. Now, what is the optimal amount of sleep? Well, this actually varies based on person to person and in phases of life. So we all remember probably when we were teenagers, we could sleep for like 10, 12 more hours. You could just like sleep forever. Maybe you have a teenager and they can sleep forever. As we get older, our sleep needs do go down. But if we do maintain physical activity, we still need a good amount of sleep. So I would say a good Goldilocks zone is somewhere between 6 and 9 hours. 7.5 would be a optimal shooting range to kind of like go for. And your body's going to tell you. If you're waking up and you're feeling fatigued the next day, you know you need to drink more coffee to get yourself going, then you're in a little bit of sleep debt and you're gonna have to like auto-regulate your sleep. So if you're in sleep debt and you realize you're dragging butt, then increase to the next day. This is something we need to dynamically control, because sometimes there might be a stretch of a couple weeks where you're able to cruise on 6 hours and feel just fine, but maybe if you start to feel tired all the time, your body's telling you, this is actually feedback from your body that you need more sleep and you're not recovering adequately. So 7.5 hours is a good figure to kind of shoot for, but I do think that the quality of the sleep is more important than the total time. And then we talked about one other thing, the learning and memory consolidation, how actually learning these lifts is better for your actual muscle building gains. But I want to talk about something that people also don't realize. People think that sleep is something that you can skimp on because it's like, oh man, I know I'm going to be tired. It's not a big deal. I feel like I can function on a little sleep. Well, get this. Your brain has an immune system unique to its own kind of circuitry in space called the glymphatic system. And this actually, immune cells are traveling through here all the time. And there's these specific cells called microglial cells that actually literally clean the brain while you sleep of metabolic byproducts and debris. This is why when you actually pull an all-nighter and your brain doesn't get a chance to go through these cycles and those microglial cells don't get a chance to essentially clean the brain of some leftover metabolic byproducts, because your brain is one of your most energetically expensive organs, right? It's a tiny, what does a brain weigh? Like 5 pounds, but it uses like 15 to 20% of your energy. So it's constantly doing all this stuff and it builds up metabolic byproducts. And if we don't allow sleep to clean those things out, we feel that, the hangover the next day more or less. And so this is why sleep is essential for health, because you get a buildup of those metabolic toxins over time and you're not sleeping adequately. Your cortisol levels are higher, which means your testosterone levels are lower, your immune system's lower. That's just setting you up on like a path for all sorts of different health problems unrelated to muscle building, just straight up health problems. And one more thing I would also add why sleep's essential is because after a bad night of sleep, your body processes carbs less well. You become insulin resistant after missing sleep. So the normal bodybuilding diet that you've been eating that should work normally and good under good sleep conditions does not work as well when you're sleep deprived. Your blood sugar stays more elevated. Insulin is floating around a lot longer, and that means your fat burning ends up being lower, and you're not actually driving as much of that glucose into the muscle cells for glycogen, so you can't train as hard. So, we can go down the science rabbit hole here, but essentially sleep is the foundation of your recovery and your gains. Lifting is the stimulus. Sleep is what ultimately leads to the recovery and allows those gains to actually be made. So sleep and nutrition, absolutely huge and essential. And this is a really important topic, and I want to help you go deeper into the proper way to train, the proper way to eat. And we have some more videos below in the description on circadian rhythms and cool stuff like that. So scroll below, check out the description. We got a lot of free resources like our free meal plan, free workouts, and some of those other videos linked below. And if you love this stuff and you want to get more involved with our channel, then subscribe. Join our family here on YouTube. We're literally exploding. We have hundreds of videos on the channel. Thousands of people are joining us every single week, and we'd love to have you as a member of our Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project community. So hit that subscription button and then scroll below and drop me a comment if you learned something cool. If you have something you want to add, and give me a thumbs up if you found this valuable. Hit that like button. It does a lot for our channel and helps us out a ton, and we're glad to make these videos for you, and I hope you found this useful. Again, my name is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi from the Fit Father Project and the Fit Mother Project. I'll see you around the channel, my friend. Scroll below, check out the description, and I'll talk to you very soon.